Yeah.
Mirror touch. I heard
How we
it.
doing? Yep. Yeah.
It feels like a record about just internal collision or like combustion. It's like two emotional weather systems smashing into each other. When you were making it, did you feel like you were documenting who you are now or predicting who you're inevitably going to become? And blurb a little bit about the writing process.
I think it's a little bit of both. More so more reflection over what has happened from the inception of the band, you know, even before I was in the band and it was just Michael, I think the album it spans all of that. And it kind of like I don't know about maybe necessarily for the future, but it definitely puts us our stamp for the present. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I think with this band, we don't really like say we want to be this. We just kind of enjoy where we are. You know what I mean? And just kind of just focus on that because a lot of times it's very rare. We're just thankful that we got to the point that we are at. That it's hard to look to be like, we're just stoked to be here right now, just living in the moment versus like, oh, it's gonna be so sick in the future. Like I think, just to be present currently is the best.
Right. I mean, it feels that way. Listening to it last night, I was just angelic. You guys did an incredible job, and it
Thank
is
you.
very different. Fair warning from anything you've ever done. It's really good, and I know that's cliche, but
Yeah.
um, do you think Mirror Touch is the kind of album that could only be made by a band with like your specific history of breakups, reconciliations, label fiascos, and lineup mutations, or could an alternative universe volumes with no drama have made something similar?
No, I think that the the tumultuous the craziness about volumes is what makes that's what makes it what it is. Like even when I first joined the band, like my very first few sessions recording with the band, just like some of the wildest, it was just the wildest thing, like just the excess and just how like careless it was. And not even in a bad way, but careless in like in like just like not like in a lackadaisical way. Like it's just like we just didn't care. Like, and you could do whatever you wanted. Like, time didn't matter. We just felt like you're at the top of the world, and like, we just making this great music, and life could never hit you hard, And so we lived like that. We played like that. We partied like that, and like that's what came out in the music in those eras. Like, I was just that we were really living what we were talking about. So, but and all of that came from the shit that we had been going through in our personal lives. So like, it was just like one thing to cope with the next thing, to cover up the thing that we're really trying to deal with. So in a perfect era, no, we couldn't do that because if we all had good lives and everything was going well, we wouldn't have anything to struggle to talk about. We'd be playing worship music or something. I don't know.
Right. Different
Something.
band entirely at that
Yeah,
point.
100%. Yeah, in our alternate universe, we'd be a worship band.
I, and you'd be far more controversial at this point. You'd be up in
Yeah,
arms about whatever Christmas music you're playing right
yeah,
now,
for
the
sure.
drama on that.
We
Um,
yeah.
when you listen back to this recording and the order of operations that you put into it, whose emotional fingerprints do you feel most clearly is on it? Do you feel like it's your own or like the band's collective subconscious?
I think it's more collective. At any given point, there's no volumes without the key members, like and just because we all worked on it so much together that it's just all over. It's on everything. It's the DNA's been left everywhere, so to speak, you know what I mean? And that's cool. It's just like we've done albums and we've been in recording processes where it wasn't like that. It wasn't everyone didn't necessarily have the opportunity to contribute like they wanted to or, you know, to their full potential, myself included. And like, so it's cool that on this album it was like we didn't really pull any punches. We just kind of went for it, and everyone got to get it out. Just so everyone got to have their say, kind of thing.
So, talking about the coming tours. So, touring is basically an anthropology experiment. Same people in different cities, repeating variations of the same ritual each night. What do
Hmm.
you think this next tour will reveal about you as an individual?
Uh, that is probably that it's just of how serious it is, and just how fortunate we are to be able to do this. Because I didn't really know if Volumes was going to tour anytime soon. So it coming from, like I said, in the past, where it's like, oh, we're on the road 9 months out of 10 months out of the year, like, to have it stop, like considerably slow down, and to be like, well, we'll tour when when it works out. So that now it's just like when we do get the opportunity to tour, it's like probably not going to spend the whole tour all fucked up so I can remember it. You know what I mean? It would be kind of nice to take it seriously.
Sustainability. You
Yeah,
gotta do what you gotta do to get through the bullshit. I
of
understand that.
course.
There's always
Yeah.
that.
But I mean,
So,
back in the old days, we were just going hard just because that's what we felt like we're supposed to do, and it's like a competition. Where now the competition is to play your music and actually sound like something that people want to come and listen to on stage. So I think that just the sense of we're still wild, and we can still get it in, but I think probably just to give something that's more meaningful to the fans and just to ourselves, and we're all on more positive like life paths now, so it's like it's not a train wreck coming to every city. It's gonna it'll be a good time this time.
right. As
Yeah,
it should be, though. Is there,
yeah.
um is there a specific song from Mirror Touch that you're secretly worried will evolve into something completely different once you've played it 40 times live?
Mm, nah, not really. I think I'm the kind of person that, yeah, like with songs that even music that we play now, like Wormholes, we still play Wormholes, and that's like one of the songs that the band as a whole probably doesn't want to play because it's like 7 minutes long. Ain't nobody trying to do all that, it's just, but it's one of the ones that's just like, no matter where we play, people want to hear it. And the fact that wherever we go, people want to hear that song is like, that's kind of a cool thing. Like, someone we could be in anywhere in the world. First, we're far away from our homes, and they want to hear this song that we have that we wrote. Yeah, it sucks that because we've played it a million times, but to them, that's the first time hearing it. So just trying to remind myself, like, that's someone's first experience every time. It's so cool. And that kind of like keeps me grounded where it doesn't really bother me. So I was like 40 times, 50 times, 150 times. How many times? Because think about it, we practiced the song a million times to go on tour to play it a million times. So it's like at this point, it's second nature. I just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. I like it, honestly. At least they want to hear that, and then this versus something I can't remember.
That would set you up for a gimmick real quick.
Yeah, exactly. So I like it because it could be the other way around. They want to hear something I don't remember, so we'll take it. It's cool with me.
Exactly. Right, exactly. If touring were suddenly illegal, but the government
Oof.
allowed one final show for, archival purposes, what would your set list be, and who would you imagine that, that archive is genuinely for? Like the specific aspects of your fan base that will just carry on.
Man, I mean, it would be a banger. It would just be a banger with the emotionals on the side. All the hits, and then a couple like really solid deep cuts. Probably be like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Take the full ride. Kind of what we did with we just did a Halloween set just to like you know pay tribute to where we've come. Where the band has come from, all of the albums before, all the way back to the Concept of Dreaming, the first EP, which is years before I was even a part of the band. I was a fan when that came out. And then just play all those, and then just dig into the new ones, and then, you know, send it off for the final goodbye, play some Wormholes, stage dive all out of there, and then that's it.
Love
You
it.
know?
Love it. That's
Yeah.
how you do it. So about the industry, do you ever feel like metalcore as a scene is caught in a loop, like obsessed with nostalgia and reinvention at the exact same time? And if so, where do you think Volumes fits into that paradox?
I think so. I mean, music is cyclical. I mean, everything is cyclical. You know, it's like they say, there's nothing new under the sun. It just comes in different reiteration. So, you know, I mean, look, there's a lot of bands right now that are doing like their 25-year anniversary. We just did a 15-year anniversary. Like, you know, people still want to hold on to because they want to hold on to that feeling because music. When you're younger, music like the songs you listen to back then, they put you in a place. You listen to like the thing, like the first time you heard Psychosocial, or first time you heard Wait and Bleed, or like like where were you? Like I remember I was in middle school skating at the skate park. Like that was like, and like that's a core memory for me. So like I think in all of our rush to like stay grounded and remember and just have remember of the good times. Like, think that music is an easy way to bring you back to there because a lot of people don't have the pictures from back then or don't have videos, but you have the mental videos and the music is like the catalyst to help you take you there. So I think that being said, where we fit in, it's kind of cool because where music was, and this was before I was in the band, so I could say this, like the band was starting to change the game. Like they were one of the first bands who did the jet style that was like not one of the first to do it, but one of the first to do it where it was accepted or
Mhm.
well liked right off the jump. So I think that for us, to be able to take 4 years between writing albums and still have the response and the support and the love from the fans is a good testament to that we must be doing something good. You know what I mean?
100%. I have a house full of boys, teenage boys. I'm a boy mom, and I played Edge of the Earth, and one of their friends is like, "Oh my god, I know that song." I was like, "How do you know the song?" He's like, "I heard it in a video game." I was like, "What?"
That's so cool.
Okay, like what video game? And he's like, "I can't remember, but it was so cool. It was live on Twitch, and it was so cool." And you guys have that kind of household portrayal going on, so hopefully it keeps on going.
And that's
If
what you
you had
want, man. That's
right.
like so cool, because probably when that song was written, he wasn't even alive. So it was like it's
It
tight, man.
wasn't even yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Um, so if you had the power to delete one industry practice forever, either streaming payouts, label contracts, genre marketing, algorithmic oh, I can't even say it, man.
Yeah.
Playlists or, whatever, like all this new methodology behind doing things, what disappears first for you?
I think, yeah, probably streaming. Yeah, I think that would probably which would even the playing field out a lot and make things way more crazier. But I mean, I'm old enough to remember before streaming for real. So
Yeah.
I and it was a different world and it was like more exciting and like you got like excited to get the physical copy of an album and like wait at the music store overnight and like till midnight till they drop the release or like you got the booklet and stuff like that. And it's not nearly as it's not nearly as popular as it was back then. Like people, we do vinyls and we do the CDs, and but they don't scan or sell nearly as much. Like there was a time where your CD scans on tour and your sound scans were like that's what made how big you were. That determined where you were. Now it's how many Spotify spins you have and and just how they count it and what they like, how they just value what we spend countless hours putting everything that we have into it, just how they devalue that into just one stream. It's kind of shitty. So I get rid of that first for sure and give more attention to the artist and more attention to, you know, the people that are putting in the work, you know. I think that and that it would be beneficial to everyone because then it gives jobs to the music stores again. Then the sales CDs and all that. If we went back to that again, like we used to be a simpler time. Oh, jeez.
So much, I think, so much more appreciation. I was thinking about it the other day. Do you remember when they had Clippets at Kmart?
Yeah, yeah,
You only
dude.
got like 20 seconds of a song for 12 bucks. You put it in this
Yeah,
lame
and that
little,
little
and it only
thing.
came with one earbud, man. And now it's oversaturated a little bit, but you still have genuine
Yeah,
bands like you guys pulling it out.
for sure.
Is there a sound on Mirror Touch that came from accident, like an accident, like a wrong pitch, a weird sign chain, signal chain, like a dropped
Oh,
guitar, anything like that that ended up being essential?
yeah, plenty of stuff. Yeah, a lot goes on in the studio that's like, oh, what was that? Or in the middle of something's happening, something crosses over, something like, oh, what was that? Go back. That's it's like that sounds like shit. No, do it again like that, and then it's like a tangent into something else. That I think that's the magic of being in the studio versus like when we did Happier. Most of that album was done remotely, so it was us on Zoom in separate rooms. So like the intimacy was taken out of it. Like versus with this album cycle, we were all in the room together. Somebody's clumsy, somebody tripped, somebody knocked something over, somebody made some noise, somebody did something, anything that triggers the interaction, someone's laughing, and then you get on a whole new plane, the whole vibe, and then whereas maybe that would have never happened if we were separate and then trying to write. So I think that I think that's like really cool that we can have those kind of moments in our sessions because that it steers a lot of what we do. A lot I joke around a lot in the studio, and so that's a lot of some of the things that we try or that actually make it on the album just because I was joking around. So, you know, you know, yeah.
You've got this sound that's built on precision that feels like chaos, like math equations written during an earthquake with, you know, the way you guys throw things together, and it's absolutely epic. But what piece of gear, like guitar, pedal, mic, plug-in, is the absolute anchor of that controlled chaos that you can think of?
Uh, our laptop.
Right?
I mean, yeah, the laptop. Because if the laptop takes a shit, no, and that happened to us. We played in Hawaii, and I don't. It's something that has never happened before. It felt like the computer was melting, and like it just started slowing down. But we're still trying to keep it going, and like that's proof. Without the laptop, you up shit's creek, man. So I think that's the most important part of no for us anyways, for now. Because
I can
we
respect
don't even
that.
have any cabs. So if that goes out, you're not even hearing music, you're just hearing because it's all going through the house. So sorry, I may be telling the secrets, but yeah. Yeah.
That's all right. I mean, everybody loves you no matter what. So,
All
all right, last two questions.
right.
What's the most incorrect assumption people make about volumes, and why do you think they keep making it?
Uh hmm. Probably that we're not a band and because we don't play a lot of shows.
It's
But
hard.
we are a band and we do play shows, guys. Come on, man. Ah,
Yeah. Well, this economy, especially, I'm jaw dropping over the number of people, like big name bands that are dropping out of Australia right now. It's just too hard.
yeah, it's a lot.
Economically, it's too expensive.
It is. I mean, it's expensive to travel over there already. And I don't even know, getting gear over there. We went there before stuff started getting really crazy. So I don't know. I mean, touring is hard now. The economy as it is, it doesn't matter if you're at the top or if you're at a local band, it is difficult to tour financially. I mean, a lot because the more money you make, the more you're putting into your show. and then more people you have to hire to do that. So you're making money, but you're still spending a shit ton of money too. So, it's just you got to do it for the love, man.
That and,
It is what it is.
make good friends with good record labels too. I clearly remember when I toured with the band on Media Scare Records, and we had to deal with the financial aspect of things, and it's terrifying, especially if you don't have the support that you need, So it's hard. It's hard for everybody, like you say. All right,
Wow.
last question. When you imagine volumes 20 years from now, do you picture evolution, collapse, or reincarnation? And does that answer scare you or comfort you? When you think about the future, like 20 years into the future,
Yeah.
obviously everybody talk to anybody from like Fit for an Autopsy to Slipknot, and they're banking on the fact that they've made the investment correctly and that your music will still be cycling through generation after generation. But where do you see you guys as like a brotherhood, as a family? Where do you guys see yourselves in the future?
I mean, I think we'll still be standing. You know, I mean, we've been through so much together that it's hard to. It's like a family. We've been through so much. I mean, we've lost a member, man. We actually had somebody die. Like we've been through a lot. So I mean, we may take a lengthy break, but I think that there will always be room for us to get into a room together and jam and play some tunes. I don't think that'll ever go away. Just our love for each other and just for the music and just for everything that we built it's pretty strong. Things
Mm.
happen and the industry is what it is and shit just life happens and things are out of your control and like we just one thing that volumes is good at is just rolling with the punches, man, and just we don't quit. So you know I would just say that in 20 years I would just like to be able to say that, man, we just smooth sailing. And if people are still listening to this album, Mirror Touch, or any other albums prior to that, then that's a win. We don't even need to necessarily be playing shows, but as long as they're getting spun and people are enjoying them when they do come across them. It's because even knows what the music platform will be right there. Probably a neural link. You just think about the music and it's just you sneeze 2 times and the music start playing. Who knows, man.
You
So
guys are going to become the
I
next
just want to be
Rickroll.
alive to see it. I don't even know. I don't care. I just want to be here. I think the band, if we're all alive, then we'd still be able to hang in there and whoop it out one time. But
Good.
20 years, I mean, that's old. That's up there, man.
I know, but you never know. You never know, especially with this world we live in now.
That's true. That's true. You don't know. It's just cool to like. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to think about it. Like even thinking 20 years of being a band at all is like I don't know. It's just such a foreign concept to me. So we're at 15 now. So what is that? 20 plus 35 years? It's a
Yeah,
lot.
you
It's a
I
lot.
foresee it. I foresee it. This, especially this album. This album was so, like I said, so different than any other band. I initially put it up there with like Block Party Good, where I'm like,
Oh
this is
man.
this is the
Okay.
band there, this is the album that you want on vinyl, you want to collect, you want to put it as a keepsake for your kids.
That is one of the most insane compliments I've ever heard. This block party is
Oh,
monumental.
the
So
way that's how it made me feel was listening to Silent Alarm for the first time. I'm like, this is so out of nowhere for you
yeah,
guys, because when before the other albums, I'd hear them through friends at Warp Tour. So I'd be
sure.
doing work on Warp Tour, whatever. They're like, "Hey, listen to this," and I'm like, "Oh, this is crazy. This is really good. This is so
Yeah,
technical." But this time around, there's so much more heart into it, and there's such a like an angelic description of California.
yeah,
And I'm here. I'm in San Diego. I'm originally from Reno, Nevada, and
yeah,
it nails every aspect of it, and it just gets you in a good headspace where you're like, wow, this must be what like how Block Party was for the UK.
yeah.
Where
Oh,
you
it's
hear it, you're like,
amazing.
okay, they get it, and it's still there. The spirit is still there, even though all hell is breaking loose.
Yeah, yeah, for
So you
sure.
got it. You got it.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much. That's incredible. I really appreciate that. That's sick.